Read only the script below verbatim. Do not read any metadata, instructions, or labels outside the script. Script start. You're lying in bed. The room is completely dark. His arm is still draped over your waist. But the second the breathing settles, he pulls away. Just an inch. Then another. The quiet that follows isn't peaceful. It's heavy. You stare at the ceiling. You replay the last hour in your head. Did I say something wrong? Was I too much? Is this just what long-term love feels like? Do I still matter? Am I the problem? Honestly, I've been there too. The relationship didn't fracture because the passion burned out. The distance isn't a sign you failed at intimacy. It's actually proof your nervous system finally got what it needed, while theirs just went into survival mode. You're not broken. You're not too needy. Every couple navigating attachment differences has stood exactly in this quiet. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why they pull back, how to stop taking it personally, and what to do in those 30 seconds that actually builds lasting closeness. Let's get into it. Most couples believe avoidant detachment after intimacy means their partner doesn't love them, or worse, that the spark is dying. But the real truth is that physical closeness temporarily floods the nervous system with vulnerability, and for someone with avoidant wiring, vulnerability feels identical to threat. When safety leaves the room, the love doesn't disappear, it just goes underground. What looks like coldness is usually a nervous system slamming the brakes because it got exactly what it asked for. Your nervous system reads their withdrawal before your logical mind can catch up. You take it as rejection. They experience it as regulation. Trying to fix it with more questions only confirms their deepest fear that love will consume them. This isn't incompatibility. It's a deeply ingrained protection cycle. Once you see that pattern, the panic stops. The blame fades. And you finally get to choose your response instead of just reacting to the silence. Here's the thing. I'm going to walk you through exactly how this plays out. 1. The post-intimacy vulnerability hangover. Here's the part no one talks about. Most couples think pulling away is a deliberate emotional shutdown. But beneath the surface, it's a biological recalibration. Your partner's nervous system is processing a surge of closeness. Their attachment blueprint never learned how to tolerate that. It's like stepping out of a dark cave into bright sunlight. Your eyes adjust naturally. Theirs squint and close. Not grand gestures, not lengthy debriefs, not scheduled relationship meetings. But a quiet moment where neither of you demands proof of love. When you say, "Take your time, I'm right here," you replace panic with steady presence. When you ask, "What's wrong with you?" you trigger defense instead of repair. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. 2. The silent translation gap. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Most people in relationships treat post-sex distance as a direct message about attraction. What's actually happening is a profound mismatch in emotional translation. You feel the closeness, they feel the exposure. Your brain registers connection as safety. Their nervous system registers it as weight. Imagine holding your breath for an hour, then finally exhaling. That's what intimacy does to them. When you respond with calm steadiness, something inside them quietly registers, I don't have to earn my freedom to be loved. Instead of chasing the moment they step back, you anchor into your own worth. And that realization changes everything about how you hold space afterward. 3. The over-attachment recoil. Here's where it gets really interesting. Most couples chase the moment the other steps away, but the avoidant attachment system operates on a push-pull rhythm. The tighter you grip, the faster they slide out of reach. It's not manipulation, it's preservation. They aren't running from you, they're running toward equilibrium. But here's what nobody explains. You can't negotiate with a nervous system. You can only demonstrate safety through your own regulated presence. When you stop chasing and instead let the silence breathe, you shift the entire dynamic. This isn't a communication hack. It's what it looks like when you finally trust that love doesn't vanish when someone needs air. And that's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. 4. The unspoken repair window. Not louder conversations, not more compromising, not keeping score of who initiated, but a quiet understanding that intimacy leaves everyone slightly exposed. Most couples miss this critical repair window. You both want the same thing. You just speak different emotional languages. He pulls back to regulate. She leans in to secure. Both are just trying to feel safe. When you recognize their detachment isn't about you, your posture softens. Instead of saying, "Why do you always do this?" you whisper, "I'm glad you stayed with me tonight." And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down, without either of you having to say a word. 5. The becoming cycle. And here's what changes everything. Most people in relationships treat attachment patterns as fixed destinations, but they're actually just familiar pathways. Your partner isn't stuck. They're just looping through old survival strategies. The real work isn't changing them. It's becoming someone who doesn't panic when they drift. When you anchor your own nervous system first, you stop making their space about your worth. You create a rhythm where closeness and distance coexist without threat. This isn't a trick for avoiding conflict. It's what emotionally available people naturally do when they finally realize love isn't about constant fusion. It's about trusted return. And that's when the longing for certainty slowly transforms into a quiet confidence that they will always come back to you. This isn't a checklist for managing an avoidant partner. It's an invitation to show up differently, and that changes everything about what's possible between you and the person you chose. When you internalize this awareness, you stop reacting to the pullback. You start holding steady. Your partner will feel the difference long before you ever have to explain it. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become the kind of partner who doesn't run from the quiet.
If this shifted your perspective, drop a single word in the comments that describes how you're choosing to show up this week. Because your awareness alone is already rewriting the story. Script end.